Hello everyone and welcome back to Beatles Beatles channel. Lovely to have you here. Thanks for joining me for this video and I hope you're all doing well. And welcome to episode 4 of my deep dive into the Paul McCartney Archive Collection Deluxe box sets, or Super Deluxe editions, whatever you want to call them. Now, if you've been following this channel for a little while, you may remember back in August I made a video where I took all 11 of these deluxe box sets in the Archive Collection and compared the price of what they were when they were first released to what they were on that day in August when I made the video. And what we found was that pretty much all of them had gone up hugely in price. So what I was doing was basically comparing the price when they were released to the current price in percentage terms. And what I then did was I ranked the deluxe box sets in order of the percentage rise. Now, when I did that video, a lot of people down in the comments said, oh, I'm collecting these archive collections, but I need Tug of War, or I need Flaming Pie, or I need Speed of Sound, or whatever it was. So I thought that I would start doing this series where I would show you everything that you get in each of these deluxe edition box sets. So if you are looking for one of these to complete your collection or just to add to your collection, you'll know exactly what you get in the box, and then you can make an informed decision whether or not you want to pay the price that people are asking for these now, because each box set is very different to another one. There's different things included. Some of them follow the same format, but some of them include like artifacts and things like that. Some of them don't. Some of them have got, you know, 3 CDs and a DVD. Some have only got 2 CDs and a DVD, etc., etc. So that's the purpose of doing these videos, and I hope they'll be useful if you are looking for one of these. Now, so far we have done 3 episodes. As I said, we've done Venus and Mars, Wings at the Speed of Sound, and we've done McCartney 1, and today we're going to be doing McCartney 2. Now, when I did that video back in August and I did that ranking of how much they'd gone up in percentage terms, McCartney 2 came in at number 2, so it was the second highest rise in percentage terms out of all 11 of the box sets. That doesn't mean it's the most expensive to get now or it's the most difficult to find. It's just the difference between the price when it came out and the price now was the second largest. So as I said, this is episode 4 in my deep dive series into the Paul McCartney Archive Collection Deluxe box sets. If you're new to the channel and you've missed the first 3 episodes and you want to catch up, there will be a end card at the end of this video, which will be a playlist which will contain all 3 earlier episodes plus the original price comparison video that I did back in August that I talked about earlier in the video. So you'll be able to catch up on the videos for Venus and Mars, Wings at the Speed of Sound, and McCartney 1, and the price comparison video, all with one click, nice and easy. Okay, so how is this video gonna pan out? So I'm gonna show you the book. I'm gonna show it to you in its entirety. You'll see every single page so you can get a really good feel of what's in the book and what it looks like. I'm going to show you the CDs that come with the set and the DVD, and I'm going to talk you through the bonus material that's included on those CDs and offer an opinion, and I'm also going to talk you through the bonus video material that's on the DVD as well. At the end of the video, I'm going to give you an updated price of what you would pay for McCartney 2 today if you're after that. What I'm not going to do in this video is do an actual review of the McCartney 2 album, because I've got another deep dive series where I'm reviewing all the albums, all the Beatles albums and all the solo albums, a massive task that I haven't got very far with at the moment, but a review of McCartney 2 will appear in that as part of that series at a later date. Okay, for people who are not interested in the box set, don't want to lamp out the cash for the full deluxe box set, I will also be showing you the 2 LP vinyl version of McCartney II and letting you know what bonus audio material you get on that. Right, shall we jump into the deluxe box set? So here it is. Here's the McCartney II Archive Edition Deluxe box set. Is it a box set? Not really. It's not really a box set, more of a book set, if you like. It came out in 2011. It was released at the same time as the McCartney I Archive Collection set, and they were the second batch of the archive collections, the first one being Band on the Run, which came out in 2010. Now it's in this sort of a fabric style book, the same as McCartney 1. McCartney 1, the format of these two are pretty much identical. The colour on McCartney 1 was a sort of a claret colour. This one is blue. It's got a really nice sort of fabricy feel with a matte picture of the sleeve on the front, and Paul McCartney's signature just down there. Now on Venus and Mars and Speed of Sound, which were a different style of book, they were a kind of a glossy fronted book. The signature was on the spine, but on the spine here we just see McCartney II and Paul McCartney. On the back we get a detailed sheet of everything that's in it, which I'll show you close up if you want to read it. And if you do want to read it and need to stop the video or pause the video, you can, but there's really no need because I am going to talk you through everything that is on it. Now with these detailed sheets, when it's a book style set, I normally keep the detailed sheets on the back. It's just sort of lightly glued on, so they come off quite easily and don't leave a mark or anything. When it's an actual box set, I usually take these off and put them in the box. Now my number for this is 4960, which is quite a low number, I guess. I'm not sure how many of these were made, but my McCartney 1 was up in the 16,000s. Now the book is 125 pages, 125 page book. It's a 3 CD and 1 DVD set. So 1 CD is the remastered album. Then we get 2 CDs of bonus audio material and a DVD with bonus video material. Now Venus and Mars and Speed of Sound had a few artifacts inside them, posters, replica concert tickets, some reprinted photographs and some reprinted hand lyrics. There's nothing in here, so we don't get anything extra apart from the book, the CDs and the DVDs. That's it. Okay, so I'm now going to take you through all the pages of the book. I'm going to angle the camera so it's looking down at the book, and some of the writing on things like the tape boxes and stuff like that is quite small, so you might want to expand your video to full size so you can see everything nice and clearly. Okay, let's get the book open. Nice thick glossy pages on this book, very nice. There's the contents, and the book starts off with an introduction by Paul de Noia, who is a music journalist, used to write for the NME. These days he writes for magazines like Q and Mojo. And then the first part of the book is taken up with an interview with Paul, made specifically in 2011 for this archive edition release, and this goes on for quite a few pages where he talks about each of the songs. Picture of Paul's studio in the converted barn at Lower Ranachan in Scotland, where quite a lot of the album was recorded. Guitars, basses, drums, leads, mics, all over the shop. Needs a good tidy up. And the album was also recorded at Lowergate Farm in Sussex, and here's some pictures from that studio. Some guitars and Paul's amps. And here we get 4 pictures of Paul recording some bass parts at Sussex. I'm not quite sure what Paul is doing there. It looks like he's begging for the equipment to work, and sitting here at the Studer recording machine. And here we get some lead sheets for coming up, various parts, the vocals, soprano sax, keyboard and trombone. And this is the continued interview. Nice quote there coming up, I'm very proud of, because it inspired John. He thought, I better get off my arse and make some good music. So a couple of the synthesizers that Paul used during the recording of this, Yamaha CS80 synth and Jupiter 4 Computronic. They look pretty primitive these days. Paul's amps there, and a sort of a homemade mixing console there, and a cassette recorder. Here we've got the sort of the lead sheets here for the orchestration of Waterfalls. Paul trying out some different locations for drums in the toilet. It's interesting that Paul sets up his kit as a right-handed drummer would set up their kit rather than the left-hander that he is, and I guess that's because he was so used to jumping on Ringo's kit. That's probably how he learned how to play drums, and so just continued that kind of setup. Another picture there of him trying different drum sounds in different locations. Here is sat his various keyboards. See, McCartney II is a very synth heavy recording. This picture we know with Little James there. This one was on the original release album, Inner Sleeve, I think it was. And there's an outtake from that sort of photo shoot. Pictures obviously taken by Linda. And then we get on to the recording, and we've got various tape boxes here. Notice here that they've got wings at the top there, but you've got various recordings here. Check My Machine, Nobody Knows coming up. One of These Days here, and Secret Friend. Some of the unused tracks here, Blue Sway on that one there. And here we have the sort of the mixing desk notes for some of the tracks there, where it tells you what instrument is on each track of the desk. Got Coming Up there, and Temporary Secretary there, On the Way, and Waterfalls. Also sort of working title, I Need Love, on there. And some more of those, Nobody Knows, Front Parlour, Summer Day Song, and Frozen Jap, the instrumentals. Bogey Music, Dark Room, One of These Days, Secret Friend, Wonderful Christmas Time, and Check My Machine. And now we get on to the creation of the sleeve. This is the sleeve that we all know. Some of the other pictures that were taken that were considered for the cover. Quite Hard Day's Night-ish, isn't it? And this is interesting as well from the same sessions that was taken. Pictures, portrait pictures of the other members of the 1979 version of Wings. These photos were on the sleeve, as was this one here. And this is a sort of an infinity Paul, and which is the same as this one here. But obviously here we've got Linda and the infinity pool. Some more photos with the pool. And this is a mock-up of an alternative album back cover. And this was going to be the centre spread of the album. This is an alternative design for the gatefold. Paul with the violin. Again, these were going to be on the gatefold of the album. Then we get on to a chapter about publicity. I suppose it's a 7-year itch. Every 7 years making a little homemade thing. I had fun doing it anyway. Some stills from the Coming Up video there as well. The interview is still carrying on here. And some more stills from the video, the Buddy Holly and Ron Mail get-ups that he did for that video. And yet more stills from the video. And here we get a reproduction of the Club Sandwich, the Paul's Fan Club, or Fun Club as it was known back in the day, talking about, this is the issue that came out when the album was released. So we get a reprint of that little article. Then we get on to the chapter about the release. And Paul and Linda celebrating the album's release with friends and colleagues. The picture sleeve for the Coming Up single that we know about, we've seen many times. The front and the back. And the picture sleeve for the Temporary Secretary 12-inch single with Secret Friend on the back, and the sleeve for Waterfalls and Wonderful Christmas Time. Film and video. So this is some actual stills again while they were recording the video for Coming Up. Great photos, these. Paul putting on the beard for that character. I'm not sure if he was just supposed to be Paul McCartney when he was that. There's Linda. I don't think I need to say anything over the top of this. It kind of speaks for itself. Of course, the band that was made up of all the different Pauls was called the Plastic Max. Lots of photos from the video of Coming Up, and this one from the Waterfalls video. So I guess we kind of recognise these shots. That dreadful sleeveless cardigan, I'm sure was all the rage in 1980. I just don't remember it being so. The polar bear. The polar bear was called Olaf, apparently. Linda with a omnipresent camera. More stills from the waterfall video. And then we get the lyrics to the songs on the album. And the original album did come with the lyrics. Of course, a lot of the songs were instrumentals. Summer's Day song, which was mostly instrumental. And then we get all the information about the remastered album, the 2 CDs of the bonus audio, and the information about the stuff that's on the video, the credits, and that is it. This is where the discs sit, and I will show you those in a minute. And that is your McCartney II book. Okay, so I'll quickly show you the CDs. So this is disc 1, the remastered album. They all look quite similar. That is the bonus audio, disc 2. And that is bonus audio, disc 3. And this is the DVD. Now we also get a download card in the set as well, and also a little advertisement for other archive collections in the set. So these are the ones that have already come out, and these are the next ones to come out: Venus and Mars, Wings at the Speed of Sound, Wings Over America, and Ram. They were so much better organised back then. They knew exactly what was happening, what was coming out next, unlike today when we're going, is it going to be Back to the Egg? Is it going to be, London Town? We don't know. I wish they'd gone back to telling us what is going to be next to cut out all this speculation. Okay, so let's have a little walk through the first CD of bonus audio material. There are 8 tracks on it. It lasts for 48 minutes, which is quite long. The first track is a song called Blue Sway, which is an unreleased song. It was a song that was originally recorded during the McCartney II sessions in 1979, but this version has got Richard Niles' orchestration on it as an overdub, which was done in 1986, and I really like this track. I think it's great. Second track is the live version of Coming Up, the Wings version from the 1979 tour, recorded at the Glasgow Apollo. We're very familiar with that as the B-side of the Coming Up single, or if you're in America, the A-side. Next up is Check My Machine, the B-side of Waterfalls. This is the edited version that was actually on the single. Track 4 is called Bogey Wobble. This is an unreleased track, and presumably it's some sort of version of bogey music, although it bears very little resemblance to bogey music, and it's got this sort of wobble board going over the top and annoying synthesizer noises. It's absolutely horrible. If you think about the worst of 80s music and you come back with this, it's horrible. Track 5 is Secret Friend, which is obviously the B-side of the 12-inch Temporary Secretary single. This has been out on CD before. It was on the 1993 McCartney II release. Now the next song is called Mr. H. Atom, and it's it's 2 songs joined together actually. It's called Mr. H. Atom and You Know I'll Get You Baby, both pretty much made up on the spot. Mr. H. Atom has got one lyric. Mr. H. Atom lives in a flat on the male side of town. It's Paul and Linda just repeating this over and over again for about 2.5 minutes. It's again absolute waste of time. They're just messing about. And You Know I'll Get You Baby is also absolute rubbish, to be honest. It's not very good at all. The next track is Wonderful Christmas Time. This is the edited version, the single version at 3 minutes 47, and there is a longer version, the full version at 4 minutes 15, which is on the audio disc 2. The final track, All You Horse Riders and Blue Sway, again, that's 2 tracks put together. All Your Horse Riders, again, is just made up on the spot and is not very good. Blue Sway I like quite a lot. You hear more of the actual 1979 recording that you hear on track 1 on here, but because the overdubs of the orchestra are on track 1, you miss a lot of the instrumentation that's going on. You know, there's bass, there's lead guitars, there's saxes, there's keyboards, lots of good stuff on there. My real complaint is that it goes on too long. It's about 7 minutes, so those 2 sort of tracks together take up 10 minutes, and also obviously Secret Friend is 10.5 minutes as well. So that is audio disc 1. Let's go through CD 3, which is the second bonus audio disc. Now, if you're a fan of the McCartney II album, you're probably going to really like this disc because it mainly features extended versions of songs are on the album. Now, I will give my opinion on this, but you're quite welcome to take my opinion with a pinch of salt if you're a fan of the McCartney II album. I'm not. McCartney II is probably my least favourite studio album from Paul, of original material anyway. So my opinion is probably not the best to take, but if you're a fan of McCartney II, you will really like this disc. So it kicks off with an extended version of Coming Up, runs at 5.5 minutes. The original was about 3 minutes 51, so it's quite a bit longer. It's got an extra verse, it's got an extra sax break and quite a few different bits in it. This is the full version of the song, which was obviously edited down for the album and the single. Now, I really like Coming Up as a song. I just don't really like the studio version of it where it's been speeded up and he's got effects on his voice. I really like the song when it's played live on the various live albums that we've had that have featured it, and obviously the B-side of the Coming Up single from Glasgow is great, but the studio version I'm not a fan. But if you are a fan of the studio version of Coming Up, you're going to love this because it's about 1.5 minutes longer than we've had before. The second track is Front Parlour. That is an extended version as well. It runs at 5 minutes 15. The original was 3.5 minutes. Front Parlour is not a track I like. I'm not a big fan of instrumentals anyway, and I don't particularly like this one. Same again for Frozen Jack. This again is an extended version. This is track 3. It runs at 5 minutes 43. The original was 3 minutes 39, and again I'm not a fan of this track either. Track 4 is an extended version of Dark Room, which is a track that I do really like for the McCartney II album. The album version is only 2 minutes 18. This version is 3 minutes 45, so I much prefer this version. I think this is a great song, and it's a shame that the longer version wasn't on the album. Track 5 is an extended version of Check My Machine. Now, like a lot of the songs that we got on disc 1 of the bonus audio, you know, this is a song that was just made up on the spot. He was literally checking the equipment, and but I really love Check My Machine. I've always really loved it, that funky bass line, and this version here is almost 9 minutes of Check My Machine. The single version, the one that was on the B-side of Waterfalls, is about 5 minutes 50, so just shy of 6 minutes. So it's great to get this full version of Check My Machine. Wonderful Christmas Time is next, the full version of that, which runs at 4 minutes 15. The single version is 4 minutes and 47, so there's not that much difference, about 28 seconds longer on this CD. Track 7 is Summer's Day song without the vocals, so it's exactly the same as the album. It's just had album version. It's just had the vocals taken off. I don't like the album version. It's just so slow. It goes nowhere for me whatsoever. But you know, if you like that song, you might like it without the vocals. And track 8 is the DJ edit of Waterfall. So the album version ran at 4 minutes 43. This runs at 3 minutes 20, and that is your second bonus audio disc. So the second bonus audio disc runs at about 48 minutes, the same as the first bonus audio disc. So that's quite a generous helping of bonus material. That's almost 100 minutes. That's an hour and 40 minutes of bonus audio, which is a good selection for one of these archive collections. Okay, so onto the video material on the DVD. So the video runs for about 55 minutes. There's 8 items on it. Some you will have seen before, some you probably won't have. So the first item is an interview that was first broadcast on ITV in the UK in 1980. It's an interview where Tim Rice is interviewing Paul about the McCartney II album, and it's always good to see an in-context video retrospectively to see what Paul thought of the album just as it came out. Tim Rice is wearing a green suit and green Cuban-heeled Beatles boots, just for good measure. That's a good piece of footage. It lasts about 25 minutes. Then we get 3 official music videos for Coming Up, Waterfalls and Wonderful Christmas Time. We've obviously seen them before, but it's always great to see that Coming Up video, and I can remember the impact that video had on me when I first saw it. I was 19 when that came out, and to see Paul in his Beatles suit with a Beatles wig playing his Hofner bass just was, you know, blew me away a little bit really as a young teenager. And because we hadn't really seen Paul play that Hofner bass really since the Let It Be film, I think, at that time. So that's great to have. Then we get Coming Up from the concert for Kampuchea, December 1979 at the Hammersmith Odeon. And when I watch that video, I'm just reminded about how much better the live version is compared with the studio version. Paul's husky vocals on that song and the live horns rather than the synthesized horns that are on the record. Really great version. Really great for me to see that again because I was actually at the concert for Kampuchea at the Hammersmith Odeon, and at the end of the video, when the crowd cheers, you may be able to hear me clap or maybe give the occasional whoop. Then we get what I would call maybe the jewel in the crown of this video material. We get a rehearsal of Coming Up with Wings from Lowergate Farm. It looks as if they're rehearsing in the front room or something. There's curtains behind him. Paul is constantly looking at the lyrics on his music stand, so he doesn't know the words off by heart. We've got Steve Holly on drums, Lawrence Juba on guitar, Denny is playing keyboards, as is Linda, and it's really great to see this little rehearsal that we haven't seen before. I'm guessing that either it was originally intended to be a Wings song, or they were just rehearsing for the 79 tour. But that is a great piece of footage. We then get a 5-minute video which is called The Making of the Coming Up video, which is basically the Coming Up video with Paul doing a voiceover the top, telling you about all the characters and how they filmed it and that sort of thing, which is interesting to watch. And then the final video piece is the orchestral version of Blue Sway with a video film made by Paul and a guy called Jack McCoy, and it's a beautiful video of sort of ocean surfing and that sort of thing, with this orchestral version of Blue Sway over the top of it. And as I say, I really like that song. That's the song that we got on as track 1 on the first bonus audio disc, and it says in the book that the video is for Linda, which is very nice, and that is all your bonus material. So if you need one of these to add to your collection or to complete your collection, what could you expect to pay for this in today's market? Now, when this first came out in 2011, it cost £61, and by today's standards and for everything that you get in the set, that looks like good value for money. Now, when I did my price comparison video in August, I found the average price of a brand new McCartney II Archive Collection Super Deluxe box set was £310. That was a rise of around 400%. Like I said, it was the second highest percentage rise of all the Archive Collection sets. Now, I've done a check on eBay today, and the bad news is, if you are looking for one of these, is that this has gone up even further in value since August. So the best price that I could find a brand new one on eBay today was £419, which is a huge increase in just a few months since last August. I did see a used one on there for £339. That was the cheapest for a used copy. And one person on eBay was asking for 500 quid for a used copy. But if you are looking for this, a brand new one, around the 400 mark, £420 mark for that, and you can pick up a used one for about 340 quid. So it's not good news if you are looking for these absolutely huge increase and absolutely ridiculous prices to get hold of one of these. So if you don't want to pay that ridiculously high price for the full box set, but you fancy some of the audio material, there is a 2 CD version of the McCartney II Archive edition, and there is a 2 LP version. I don't have the CD, but I do have the LP. It looks like this, so it's pretty much the same as the front cover, except we got this sort of beige strip down the side, which is on all the Archive Collection LPs. The back is the same, apart from it's got the extra material from the second LP that's on it, and the gatefold is the same as the original album. So I just have a quick look at the vinyl. So the remastered album, and it is a good remaster, very much improved on the original, because obviously it was recorded in quite primitive circumstances, so they have improved on the sound. You get the lyrics on one side of the inner sleeve, and that picture that we saw in the book with Paul, with James tugging his shirt. The vinyl looks like this: side 1 and side 2. And then the second disc, and I'll tell you what is on the second disc in a minute. You just get the alternative picture that we also saw in the book, and on the other side of the inner sleeve you just get the information about the bonus audio material. The LP looks like this, so it looks pretty much the same as the main album. And so what bonus material do you get on the LP? So obviously you're not going to get everything that's in the Super Deluxe set. Unlike all the others that we've looked at so far, the LP has been the same audio material as that's been in the box set, because there's 2 CDs of bonus audio in this set. You don't get everything, so it's just a selection. So I'll tell you what you do get. You get the Blue Sway orchestral version. You get Check My Machine, that's the normal the edited version, the 5 minute 50 version that's on the B-side of Waterfalls. You get Bogey Wobble, unfortunately, and you get Secret Friend, the full version, 10.5 minutes. You get, on the second side, you get Coming Up Live at Glasgow. You get Mr. H Atom and You Know I'll Get You Baby as well. Wonderful Christmas Time, that is the edited version, not the long version. And All You Horse Riders and Blue Sway, that's a 10-minute track. So that's all the audio that you get on it. So you're missing quite a bit of audio by getting the LP version, but at least you're getting a flavour of it. So if you've got the McCartney II Super Deluxe box set, and you want to tell me what you think about it, please do so down in the comments. If maybe you haven't bothered getting it, but now you've seen the video of what's in it, you're now interested in trying to get hold of a copy, I'd love to hear from you. Anything you want to say about this set. If you're not in the slightest bit interested, you can tell me about that down in the comments as well. I'd love to hear from you. As you know, I read all your comments and I respond to all your comments as well. Now guys, if you want to do me a huge favour, please give the video a thumbs up and leave a comment, or do both of those things, because those two things really help with the YouTube algorithm, help my videos get out to more people and help me grow the channel. If you're watching this video and you haven't subscribed yet, please consider supporting the channel by subscribing. That would be absolutely fantastic and I'd love to have you on board. Okay, that is it from me. Thanks so much for watching the video, and if you've made it to the end, it has been quite a long one, give yourself a big slap on the back. I hope you've enjoyed the video. As I say, thanks for watching and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.